Okay, so this is my first Porsche Cup race of the season. Um, and I accidentally joined the Porsche Cup Open Series where people can adjust a bunch of settings and maybe, I think, put on different wings and such. And this is my qualifying sessions, which I'm going to fast forward through here in just a moment because here's my qualifying session. That was me coming in there at the end. I had to reset because my initial qualifying session, I screwed up exiting the pit lane, got a black flag immediately, so I had to come into the pits and reset. So this time I made sure to go out correctly, and so I'm already screwed. I can already only do one lap in qualifying. This is my warm-up lap. I'm just going to speed up through this real quick. This is just to get the tires warmed up. I'm already nervous about the whole situation because you're hang anxiety. You're just starting. So here comes my first qualifying lap, and I do okay. I don't do great. In the end, I place about a 2 minute, 1 second, and a little bit of change qualifying lap, which was not my best. I screwed up on a couple areas. I did okay in a couple other areas. I could have done better. I could have positioned myself better. So I finish and get set for the race. And I realize that I am starting in 18th position out of 23 racers. We all get set up on the grid. I'm going to start on the right-hand side of the grid, which sucks because your first turn is a hard right. You want to be on the left side of the track for that. Um, but what are you going to do? This is where we are, and this is how it's starting. So let me move back to where I am in 18th place again. Back this up a little bit before we start. This is not me. I'll get to it. Okay, there I am. There's Carl racing in 18th place, starting the grid. So here we go with a pretty decent launch. This is my first launch in the 992.2. I get okay off the grid. You can see this guy's having network issues. Oh, man, I am really messing this up. Here I am. I'm going to back that up again. I didn't think that looked like my car. All right, here we are. It says 17th position, but I could have swore I started in 18th. And in fact, you'll see, oh, this is still us setting up, which is why. All right, sorry about that. So here's my start, which is actually a pretty decent start. I guess I am starting 17th. I thought I was starting 18th. So I get a pretty decent start. You can see this huge crowd. This guy tries to dive in, which I know is not going to work particularly well, but I'm kind of waiting for people to make mistakes here. It looks like I'm losing a couple positions, but I'm going to get those guys to back out. It's always this first lap that's super nerve-wracking. You got to settle into it, but people are crashing all around behind me, which frees me up a little bit, lets me relax a little bit. But I recognize these folks in front are also prone to crash. And in fact, I'm expecting one here. And sure enough, there's one. But it wasn't enough for me to gain any spots. And I'm fully expecting at the end of this straight there was going to be another problem, and certainly into the next turn. I just kind of hold my line here. I'm watching what people are doing. I'm noticing too that a lot of them are not using the lines my coach had taught me in his video, so I kind of watch and just wait and see what happens here. This is where I'm expecting a real problem. I'm able to get around this guy on my right. That guy crashes, so now I've made up 2 places. Not too shabby.
Hey, you ruined my race once, like, there's brake lights for a reason, brother.
That guy lost the roof. The other guy's complaining behind us. So let's see how it's looking. So there I am at the back of this pack, kind of watching and waiting for something to develop. And there goes one. There's another place gained. This is our second lap of this race. I'm still, the heart's pumping. You're a bit nervous. But I'm also seeing where the lines are that the other drivers are taking and realizing, okay, this is interesting. I thought I was fine there, and this guy taps me, but I'm able to keep the car in control and get back on the grid while he gets involved in another collision back there, which buys me a ton of space now. So I realize there's a person behind me, but he's a good distance behind me at this point. And I have better pace than him. So let's keep going. I'm going to actually fast forward a bit here. I'll let it go to the end of this lap, then I'll fast forward, because this is a particularly good lap for me. I'm really proud of how I handled this particular turn. Again, this is one of the trickiest turns right here, and I nail this perfectly. Over this, over that, left there, perfect. That's it. I couldn't have had. That was the best I've ever handled that corner. Long back straightaway DRS zone. I can see the crowd in front of me, and I've got people behind me, but I don't feel like they're catching up to me. Most of the drivers here in qualifying had set, a bunch of them had set like 1 minute 56-second laps. I set a 2:01. My last lap was a 2:04. I mean, the cars are loaded down with fuel at this point, and the tires are still warming up. But I'm feeling really, actually getting pretty confident in my driving of this, and in particular the handling of, as I've mentioned before, this tricky corner coming up right here, which is really kind of the third part of this overall corner. So there's the first one, there's the second one, here's the third one. You got to go wide here, straighten out, brake, and then turn. Pretty happy with that overall. Much better than I've been doing. So I'm going to fast forward through some of this. And I drive a pretty great lap there. I want to back that up just a minute because I want you to see I actually get a fairly decent pass. This corner, as we've talked about, is very tricky. And I've been watching the guy in front of me and the lines he's taken, and I'm taking the lines that Bernardo, my coach, has been talking about, and I'm catching up to him steadily as we come through this, and I come through that perfectly. And I get a great run off of this, and I'm right up on him before he even realizes it. So I'm on the throttle before he is, and I'm going to pass him here. Now, he's going to try to go to the inside of me here, if I remember correctly. But this is a really clean pass on my part. Yeah, he tries to go the inside here. I back off a little bit just because I was a little concerned about him causing an accident. But again, I'm able to get through that corner a lot faster than he is. You can see the lines I'm taking versus the lines he's taking. Making sure only part of my car is on the track. Still in bounds. But I open a gap up to him pretty quickly. So pretty pleased with how the race is going so far. I'm in 12th position at this point. Let's fast forward a bit. There are 12 laps in this race, I think. 12 or 13 laps in this race. And, I kind of settle in and start just driving my race. I don't have a lot of pressure behind me. I don't have, I can occasionally catch glimpses of the people in front of me, and I feel like I'm getting closer to most of them. So we zip through a bunch of laps here. I'm in 11th position at this point, and let's see what happens here. So I can see I'm catching up to this guy in front of me. Again, notice my lines versus their lines. Cannot thank my coach enough for this information. Has made such a huge difference. So these two in front of me were starting to battle, and I was kind of waiting for one to take the other one out. So I hung back just a little bit. And you're going to see where I make a mistake here in just a moment. After the DRS straight. I thought, okay, they're going to come to the end of this straight and collide or have a problem. But that's not what happens. What happens is I'm so focused on them, I miss my braking point. Not on, oh, I thought it was on this lap. I think it's on the next lap. I'm so focused on the two guys in front of me. These guys I'm actually catching up to. Here we go again. We'll get to the DRS straight again. Here we come. And I'm focused on them, and I miss my braking point, so swing a little wide, which loses me all the momentum I had gained on them. And then once that happens, I kind of get in my own head and start making a couple other minor mistakes. Take that corner just a little bit wrong for me. This one, I collide there, and I'm just trying to tell myself, settle down, relax, you're fine. Just drive your race. Don't worry about where they are. Just drive your own race. It takes me, about half a lap to get out of my own head, and we'll speed this along.
Hi, Chris.
That's one driver apologizing to another you just heard. And at this point, I'm feeling like I'm kind of getting my mojo back. I'm painfully aware of the two drivers behind me. And I couldn't tell on my HUD which position I was in at this point. And there's clearly an accident behind me. Which frees me up a little bit. I also got a better run out of that turn than the driver behind me. And I'm recognizing I am not going to miss my braking point this time. I mean, you run the risk of being too cautious at that point, but here I handle this really well. And again, as much as this is one of the toughest corners in the game, I am getting to the point where, quite frankly, I'm really enjoying this corner. I hit that one a little harder than I meant to, but now I'm back in the groove. There's 13 laps in total, just confirmed, in this race. We are on lap 9, and I'm going to fast forward just a little bit again. These laps I'm trying to just settle in, drive my race, and let me back up, because this is where this guy in front of me has made a mistake, and I want to show you this from my perspective, because you get a warning in your ear that says there's a driver in front that is on the left. you're going to want to go right. But the problem is I come around this corner, I see him facing that way, and he starts to pull forward, so I decide to cut around on the left, right choice on my part. And now I'm up into 10th position at this point. But that was a little nerve-wracking initially. You can never tell how people are going to rejoin the race safely or not. Great turn here. You take this a little bit slower than you realize using the brake to pivot the car. Get into this corner, to the corner, hard left, straight across this. It's pretty good. Left there, hit the corner. Great turn. It's actually quickly becoming one of my favorite turns in the race because I'm getting more and more confident in it. And because I'm more confident in it, it's one of those things where I know I'm going to gain time on somebody in front or behind me if they are not confident in that corner. Here you get a better sense of the speed. Also at this point, I'm starting to get a little concerned because I'm feeling the tires slipping a little bit. But I'm, again, just maintain the lines I've been practicing, and everything should be okay. This is lap 11 of 13. At this point, I guess I wasn't really realizing this guy was as close as he is behind me. Again, I kind of got in my own zone, was focused on my own race. That is an excellent turn right there. Yeah, but again, I didn't realize he was this close on my rear at this point. And he took that turn pretty good. Again, I'm just focused on drive your race. Don't worry about those around you. Don't worry about necessarily catching the person in front of you. You're probably not going to do it in the last 2 laps. Just focus on maintaining what you're doing. Get a much better launch out of these corners than that guy has. He didn't handle that well at all. I can feel the tires slipping a little there. But you can see him losing ground to me too. Boy, this is such a tricky corner. It's deceptively tricky. But I got a much better launch out of that than he did. And now I'm feeling super confident because I see him drop back quite a bit. Again, nice job here. Could have cut this a little harder, but I'm okay with that. Bounce on that a little more than I meant to, but I get this turn. He hits that a little too hard. Currently in 10th place. This is lap 12 that we're on. We're about to hit the final lap. Yeah, I've gained a lot more distance on him than I realized at this point too. This is the final lap. Again, I can feel my tires going a little bit, but I'm determined to just kind of keep it steady. You can feel the car slide a little around the corner. You can see he took that corner a lot wider than I did. You gotta get a little better at that corner. That was not too shabby. It's interesting that the long straightaways where you go the fastest of the time, you can kind of take a second to figure out what you're gonna do and think about your next moves. Great job on that corner. Coming up to the trickiest corner. It's been pretty decent. Better than the guy behind me. Get car rotating. He's doing the same thing. But he's probably in no danger of him catching me unless I make a huge mistake, which I'm not going to make. Final real difficult turn of the track, which is that sharp one, and then just bring it home across the finish line. Overall, not too shabby at all. That's the end of the race. I start in, I thought it was P18, but it said P17 when we started, and finished in P10. So either way, very happy with the results of that. So let's see what that looks like. You can see here, this is the replay section. Let's take a look at the results and stats for this race here. Here are the results. Started, I gained a little bit of safety rating because I didn't cause too many incidents. I gained a little bit of iRating change. This is what tracks your progress against the rest of the field. The strength of this field was, I was right in that category. So this is what the average was of most of those people on the course. And again, you can see here, yeah, 10th position, started 18th. So I'm not sure why it said 17th at the start, but I started in 18th position. Maybe there were 17 cars ahead of me. That's what it was tracking. But in my fastest lap, I finally have broken, under racing conditions even, broken the 2-minute lap for myself. So I think it's only going to get better. I have a coaching session tomorrow night, so hopefully it gets better after that. But yeah, that was my exciting first race at the Miami International Raceway for Porsche Cup. More to come.